Welcome, everyone. It's Friday, and that means it's time for another episode of the Comic Book Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. Today, Destiny will choose 3 indie comic campaigns for us to look at and review. After offering some tips and tricks of how to have a successful campaign, we will choose one to back and support. So stay to the end and find out who we will choose, because in the end,
there can be only one.
So if you're a returning viewer, most of you know me. My name is Matt Campbell. I'm a comic book creator myself, an artist, and I also teach comic book and graphic design at a local college here in Colorado. And today I'm excited to have a special guest with me, a special co-host, Benjamin Dean. How's it going, Ben?
Hello. It's going good. Glad to be on here.
Well, I'm really glad to have you on the show. Today, we're going to be talking about how to level up your comic crowdfunding campaigns. And Ben is the creator of a comic review site. Let me go ahead and throw this up here, called The Point of Clicking, thepointofclicking.com. And he's reviewed over 500 indie comics, most of which have been crowdfunded on Kickstarter or Indiegogo or something like that. Mm-hmm. So he's got some great insights to share with us today, and I'm really happy to have him here. So Ben, I'm sure, let's get started. I'm sure you've seen a lot of campaigns. So
yeah,
what do you think makes a campaign really like stand out to you when you're looking at the vast array of comics?
First thing I like to see is good art. Now, good is relative. I like seeing a lot of comic pages because that lets me know you're almost done. And I like seeing an interesting story. And I especially like, because sometimes it's hard to tell what the story's about just from the pictures and the basic description. I like when creators say, if you like Star Wars, if you like Transformers, if you like this, you'll like this comic. I like when they do that, because if most of what you say is something I like, then I'll probably get the comic.
Yeah, so having some sort of comparison that fits in the genre they like. Right on, right on. So take note of that, ladies and gentlemen, creators out there. That's a good tip. So last show, we had a close battle between some really great campaigns. Travis Gibb had a campaign on here. But in the end, as the saying goes, there can be only one. So our winner was congratulations to Fisticuffs by Fred Schwartz, which was a really professional looking comic campaign. I was really surprised. I think if anything, Fred just needs to like get on social media more and get out there, because he had a lot lower numbers than that campaign deserved. So, What did you see it last week?
Yeah, I did watch last week. I do remember Fisticuffs. Because one thing I noticed looking at all these campaigns that you have and like just on the site, I see so many campaigns that would, if they tweaked 1 or 2 things, they would get funded. Like they're just there, they're on the cusp, but they just stumble somewhere and they don't get funded. So
I mean, that's one of the reasons we do this show, because I saw so many times, little things that I would see that would be like, oh man, this is probably keeping you from getting over the top. DMW Comics says, I'm here for it. Brian from LCS, happy Friday. Yes, it is Friday. It's springtime now too. Where are you at, Benjamin?
Alabama.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We're at Alabama.
Near the top, right around Tennessee. And it was like, it's like 60 or 50 degrees right now. So yeah, it's not springtime yet.
Yeah, same here. I'm in Colorado, and we just had a snow dump like 2 days ago. Big blizzard, not really blizzard, but big storm came through, and so it was cold. And now it's like upper 40s, so it doesn't feel like spring yet. That's for sure.
When it snows down here, everything's shut down.
So, did you grow up in Alabama, or why do you live there?
No, I grew up. Went from Louisiana, Mississippi to Tennessee, and now I'm in Alabama. I went to school here. Right. Went to college here, so yeah.
I see.
So I'm a South guy. I'm in the South.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In Symmetry Creations, what's up, weirdos? Let's go. That's right. We are weirdos. We are comic book geeks. We love it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We embrace our weirdness. Isn't that right, Ben?
Yep. Yep. Love the comics.
Ken says, hey. Welcome. Thanks for watching with us. John Jason Hall, who also had a campaign on the show not too long ago. Happy Friday. Don's another local Colorado resident as well. So, let's see here. Let's get to it. We have a bunch of campaigns on the wheel again this week. I want to go ahead and share that. So let me get the right button here. Share screen. The Wheel of Destiny. There it is. All right. So this week we've got Zombie Date Night #2, comic called Dead Gene, The Ballad of Nod, Evie and the Helsings, which I just love that name. I've been hoping we land on that one just to check it out. Gun Street Girl, LCS #2, stands for Local Comic Shop by our friend John Westow. Bad Wabbit, Misfits Clubhouse, Sword of Justice, a new entry called Super Guy, and another one called Devil's Contract. So quite a bit of variety.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Audience, are you guys ready to spin that wheel? Chris Steiner says, hey there. Right on. All right, let's do it.
Let's fucking go.
There can be only one Highlander type situation. Behold, my wheel of
Destiny.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Time to spin the wheel.
Pitter patter, let's get at her. All right, let's see who's going to be #1 on the Wheel of Destiny. #1 is comic called Dead Gene. Don't know if they're watching, but if you know who this creator is, let's see. It is a company called Upward/Comics. I don't know who the creator is, but if you know, send them a message. Let them know we're about to take a look at their comic.
Mm-hmm.
#2 is Zombie Date Night. That one sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was one more. #3. Oh, it's hard to tell since they're both black.
Yeah.
The Devil's Contract. Good thing it lets us know.
Yeah.
All right, there it is. The Devil's Contract. That was one of our newer entries. All right, so if your campaign is still live next week, next Friday, we'll keep it on the wheel and spin again. And hopefully you can have Destiny will be in your favor. Kat? Sam is really wanting to be part of the show today, so we're just going to let him do it.
All right. But one thing I never did, or I never really did, I don't ever watch videos on campaigns until I start watching your show.
Yeah.
But I would just go straight down to this. I just scroll down. I would never watch videos.
Interesting. Well, while I'm getting rid of all the extra tabs and holding on to the 3 that won, tell me a little bit about why that is.
I don't
I
guess
know. Good answer.
I mean, I guess that sometimes it's just a person talking and no comic pages. So I just scroll down, look at the comic pages real fast.
Mm-hmm.
But now I would take the time to like watch a video after watching the show a few times. I'll take the time to watch a video, see what the person behind it's about, what their goal is, their motivation.
Well, and I have seen some videos that really do a great job of setting the tone with a little, like the right choice in music and the right information. I really feel like it's, kind of just lets us know what to expect, even if, there isn't a lot about the creator. So,
yeah. And it helps because sometimes you can't get the tone from reading and looking at the stuff down below. Only the video lets you know the tone.
Yeah, a lot of times a creator will tell us about what the comic is about and the characters, but like you don't really get a vibe for like, well, is this going to be funny? Is it going to be serious? That kind of thing. So I think a video is a good opportunity to do that. All right, a couple of comments here I want to shout out. See, Iggy says, we have our most ambitious and epic campaign going live April 1st. We'll be submitting once we're live. Awesome. Bad Wabbit did not get it this time. And Symmetry says the 174th time will be a charm. Yes. The Wheel of Destiny is fickle. Lori's with us today. Hello, Lori. And DFW said, this is why I don't go to casino. I get it. All right, let's see. We are going to jump over to the first one called, yes, I see you, Sam, called Dead Gene. Let me switch over to that tab and let's share it here. All right. So this is called Dead Gene, Volume 1 of 2. Time travelers from a dystopian future embark on a journey to the past to avert a catastrophic event. Right?
That's a low goal.
Yes. There's only a $300 goal. They're a little around halfway there. So, so I love having some guests on here sometimes because it gives me an opportunity to like ask some questions that I already know Smurf's take on. I already know what he thinks about it. So like when you see a goal like that, what's your first thought? A really low goal.
My first thought is they're probably new, or it's like the first big project on Kickstarter. So that makes me just up the top, only look at this part. I take chances on new people. And because I review comics, I feel like I'm obligated to buy comics I wouldn't normally want or something like new. That's so I would probably just going off the top of this, I'd probably end up getting this just to review it.
Okay. So yeah, I kind of feel the same thing. Is it being set low because they're new and they are afraid of not hitting that goal, and so they want to make sure and get some money? Because as a lot of us already know on Kickstarter, if you don't hit your goal, you don't get anything, right? Yeah. So I get that part. As I've mentioned before, sometimes it makes me question, like, what are you going to do with $300? Like that barely buys a couple books. So, but I love seeing new comics too. So let's see what this video tells us. Oh, by the way, because you do like to hear like the association stuff, I want to read that says Dead Gene number 1 is a gritty action-packed comic book about time travel inspired by Metal Gear Solid and the X-Men.
Yeah. See, I like this stuff. So if you like both of those things, or at least one of them, this is probably for you.
My cat's licking my beard right now. Come on, man. I'm on a show right now. Stop it. Lori says you can't print most books for $300. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's tough.
What is the minimum? What is the for printing?
Well, most printers will have a minimum of at least like 25 to 50 comics, and that's if they're being generous, and like they know you. A lot of times they'll cut it off at like 50 or 100. If you go out of the country and you want like like Print Ninja or some of those other big printers, sometimes their minimums are in the thousands, like 2,500, because they fire up a big machine for that. So.
Okay.
So yeah, it's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what this video tells us.
All right.
Hi, I'm comic book writer Nick Eats, and I'm launching a Kickstarter for my comic book, Deji, featuring artwork by the talented Hio Kim. Dejin is a gritty sci-fi story about two time travelers on a mission to prevent a catastrophic event caused by a failed medical experiment. Scientists attempted to mix human DNA with a substance from an unknown origin, an experiment that gave the test subjects extraordinary paranormal abilities. But there was a bit of a problem. Any human with dead gene DNA could turn a simple cold into a deadly airborne virus if not properly disposed of when sick. The dead gene house shares similarities with mutants from the X-Men, but the fear and the hatred toward them are far more justified. They are walking biological weapons.
I'm going to pause this because this is a 2.5 minute long video.
Yeah.
And I'm already like listening to smooth jazz, like wanting to relax a little bit.
Yeah, I'm already sleepy. I was like, okay.
So
very chill.
Very chill, man. Again, we love these new creators. In fact, DMW wants to give you a shout out, Ben. He says, thank you. Think new indie creators are underestimated. I agree. I mean, that's what indie is all about, is new comics that you don't see. But one of the things that new indie creators also face is marketing their book, getting people to be interested in their book. And so that's what we want to discuss here. Like Ben's going to get your book because he wants to support it, read it, review it, and that's his business. But our business here on this show is to try and help you the next time you go through be a little bit better so that you have a little bit more success. And right off the bat, I'd say bring up the energy levels a little bit. As Smurf likes to say, if you're not excited, why should I be excited? Yeah. So what did you think? What did you think of the video besides the slow part? What else did you get from it?
The art is interesting, but I need to see it. The way it seemed like I almost like a movie, but I need to see it still, like on the page. Yeah, I'm seeing it moving. It's like a little animation. It's cool, but I need to see it still.
There's a butt.
Yeah. That was on screen for a while. The story seems interesting, but the mutant gene, people transforming, all that stuff, like kind of like X-Men, that's all interesting. And so, I mean, it is interesting. Just the video was kind of a bit slow. It sounded a bit. The speaker wasn't as hype as he could have been.
Yeah. I think again, somebody spent a lot of time going in and animating these things and like separating them out. And so
the animation itself is cool. It just needs a little bit more energy.
Yeah, but we want to see like what it looks like, on the page, and we'll probably get a glimpse of that down below, I'm sure. But definitely a little bit more energy. And again, when you're new, you don't have a lot of funds, and you're trying to figure out how to make these videos on the cheap. And so generally, it's just bust out the phone and start talking into it, right? And so if that's not you, you're not really an energetic speaker, then go on to Fiverr. You can get some really inexpensive voice actors to just read a script for you and just let them know I need high energy, and they know what they're doing, and you probably can spend $100 and get a decent reader, Let's see a couple of comments here. Chris says it'd be nice to see a full page layout. I agree. We might see that down below. I think the video needs to be more exciting. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Lori says the video shows the art style and tells about the comic, but the pacing could be faster. Different choice of music. Yes, and definitely some slow music. Videos are hard, Lori. They are.
The jazz, the violence in jazz. I don't say it don't mix, but it's not fitting right here. He wants to chill. People getting shot in the head.
I think it could mix, but like it had to be the right music. But yeah. So let's see what else this tells us down here. Right here it says Dead Gene is a cyberpunk style comic that charts the odyssey of two time travelers from a dystopian future. Their mission is to journey back to the pivotal year of 3050 AC in an attempt to stop genetic manipulation program that will eventually lead to humanity's downfall. Dead Gene is realized through a compelling fusion of black and white Western manga aesthetics, imbuing the narrative with edgy, visceral tone, accompanied by dark humor and adrenaline-fueled action. Tailored for the fans of old-school 90s anime, Akira, Cowboy Bebop, and Outlaw Star.
Okay.
so much
like
so
those animes.
so much so that he just named one of the protagonists Jet.
What's Jet from?
Jet is from Cowboy Bebop, I think.
Okay. All right.
Anybody that knows can correct me. I think that's where Jet's from.
Yeah.
So then we have a couple of character profiles here and some cool art. This has got like Sin City vibes going on right here.
I like Sin City's one of my favorite comics.
Yeah, I like the heavy black lines and the shadows there. And then there is the who we are, and then the rewards, and some preview pages. There we go. Right. So we've got almost looks like let me go a little bit bigger with this. Almost looks like the what is it called? The Tracksuit Mafia. This guy right here.
Yeah.
And then
it has a slight cartoonishness to it, but not heavy like a cartoon, but like
not heavy.
Slight.
No. But with like a combination of those like heavy blacks that you get from a noir book.
Yeah, I love noir books.
And we got some exciting breaking out of the panel action going on here, and then some covers. Okay. Nice looking stuff here. All right. And then that's it. All right. So let's quickly jump over to the rewards. They got a digital copy for $5, a physical for $10.
That's a good deal.
Digital and physical for $15. Honestly, you've got several backers for your digital one. I would recommend just giving the physical copy or the digital copy to the physical backers. That allows them to keep the book pristine if they don't want to open it, and it doesn't cost you anything, but it gives value to the consumer, saying, well, I got this and this for the same price. We got it looks like a signed cover is an additional $5. And then very upward collection, and then that's it. It stops at $25. So and that one is get both variant covers of Dead Gene and this digital copy, as well as some digitals of some other comics.
Yeah, this does have the vibes of a first campaign.
Yeah, for sure. So, hopefully, if he's listening, I was actually trying to find the writer's name or the creator's name, because it's under a Nick. There he is. His name's Nick. So Nick, if you're watching, I would definitely recommend just giving value into your physical copy by adding a digital copy with it for the same price. And then talk to your artist and say, hey, would you be willing to like do a custom sketch or a custom cover or something like that for like 1 or 2 tier rewards and offer up a big whale tier? It's like, hey, you're gonna get a custom drawing and all the books for like a couple $100. That could really, that one backer could hit your goal.
Yeah, I never understood the whale backing. Like when I see like pay $200 for something, I always thought that was dumb. Then I was watching the show and I was like, oh, someone wants to pay a lot of money. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the very first time I did that, it was like my graphic novel. I had like 6 issues, and my top tier was like $1,000, and I didn't think that anyone was really going to back it. I just threw it up there, and I threw everything in it, the kitchen sink kind of thing. And somebody from Australia had extra money laying around, I guess, and they threw it down. I think there's a lot of people out there like that. They're entrepreneurial, and they are philanthropy. That's the word I'm looking for. And just have money support. And if they believe in it, they'll throw it down. But you're not going to get that if you don't have that kind of tier. And Symmetry says you must appeal to intro backers, standard backers, and the whales. Each one plays their part in making a campaign successful. Yes. So I feel like this has got a lot of great information. It tells us about the story. It tells us about the characters. The art looks good.
Yeah.
And so
does it say how many pages it is?
I never saw that.
Because it says volume. So if you're saying volume, I'm thinking at least somewhere around 48 at least. Right.
Going a quick slide through here, and I do not see that. So that's vital information.
Yeah.
That people need to know. Like, what are they getting? I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but sometimes even the size of the comic, like, is it standard comic size or is it like oversized magazine size? People want to know what they're buying.
I paid I paid $15 for a digital that only had 21 actual pages, and I felt robbed.
Yeah.
So they didn't say the pages, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna get like at least 24, 30 something. Nope, 21.
Yeah, and it makes you apprehensive of wanting to do that in the future. So not knowing that one thing, not knowing could be losing you backers, Nick. They're like, well, I don't know what I'm getting, so I'm not going to pay for it.
But I will say it might work in their favor because it's only $5 for a digital. So it's probably at least 24 pages if they're calling it a volume.
He said it was $5 for digital.
Yeah, so it's probably I'm assuming it's at least 24. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Lori says 8-page black and white versus 120 pages is very different.
Yeah.
We want to know what we're getting. In fact, all right. Hey, I happen to click in somewhere I don't normally click, which is the frequently asked questions that he preset, and it says it's 36 black and white pages. All right,
$5 digital, 36. That's good.
All right, so I'm glad I clicked on that. I would definitely put that in your main section, so people can know, because I've been doing this show for a while and I hardly ever click on that frequently asked questions button. So, all right, that was Dead Gene. Now it's time to move on to our second one, which was, I think it was Zombie Date Night. Yes. All right. There we go. All right. Zombie Date Night 2, a zombie romance comedy sequel. A second date you won't forget. So right off the bat, I look at this and I go, okay, I haven't read the first one. Am I going to need to get that too? So they have a much higher goal of 4,000, and they are over halfway there. They're at $24.92 with 106 backers and lots of time. 24
Yeah,
days to go.
they'll probably get it.
Yeah. I love this this opening image here. I'm going to see if I can make it a little bit bigger. And with the sweet tarts saying
Yeah.
"Eat your heart out."
That's a terrible candy.
So I learned over this last Valentine's that there are two different brands. There's Sweet Hearts and Sweet Tarts, and one of them tastes like chalk and ass.
Yes.
And the other one is actually pretty good.
Okay, I've only eaten the chalk one.
Let's see. DMW always put what to expect your campaign, page count, quality, that kind of cover. Yes, absolutely. All right, let's see what this video tells us. Let's go full screen here and then full screen here. All right. What'd you think?
That was a good video. I like the video. It told the tone. It made it feel like a I don't think 80s, 70s slasher type movie, a horror type movie. That's what it made it seem like. And it kind of reminded me of a video game called Left 4 Dead. That's because 3 guys, 1 girl fighting zombies. That's what it reminded me of.
I agree with you completely. I feel like the tone, especially at the beginning, and then the change of music, that really kind of set the tone really quick. This is going to be violent and fun. And I mean, even the title Zombie Date Night kind of alludes to that, but everything kind of fit together nicely here. I liked how they were showing the pages and kind of just scrolling through the pages. It really let me know like what to expect. And so I don't know that there's a lot of deep story here, but I don't know a whole lot yet other than like it's called Zombie Date Night and there's zombies and it's going to be campy and fun, which is enough, honestly, to intrigue me. But like, can true love find its way? That's the other information that we get right there. So maybe down below we get more, but I love these visuals. The art looks great. It looks both violent and fun. And like I said, it set the tone pretty nicely. All right. So under story, Zombie Date Night, it says roses are red, blood is too, and the undead are even hungrier in Zombie Night 2.
I do appreciate when they have a logo for their story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like when creators have a logo for their story. That's they're actually serious.
So like that they've spent the time to design a logo, or
like that, like Zombie Date. I like how they do that. Is that their name above the zombie?
Yeah, it says Steve Urena.
Okay.
Steve Urena's Zombie Date Night.
All right.
And so then we have Eat Your Heart. Again, I love this graphic. It's really, really cool. From the clearly rotted mind of Steve Urena comes the sequel to the critically acclaimed zombie romance, Zombie Date Night. Still recovering from the awkwardness of their first zombie night, main characters Jack and Ginger have reached the scariest place to be, the friend zone. When their survival group realizes they're running out of food, the enthusiastic and outgoing Ginger leads the charge with a very reluctant Jack to find sustenance before the zombies eat them
Zombies.
Zombies who can only survive with a mate. Zombies. Will the second date be better than the first, or will the situation situationship. That's a fun word. Be food for the undead. So we have like who's returning, and then some graphics here. That's some pretty cool, fun looking art. And then the chance to get Zombie Date Night 1 if you missed out, which is good. As I feel like this is a continuing story that I would want to read the whole thing here.
This is some fun art right here.
Yeah, it's called Eat, Bay, Love.
Yeah.
Even death won't do us part. Yeah, this is fun. These would be like great little Valentine's cards. I love it. And then what is this?
Guts, intestines, or something.
I thought maybe they were like drawing specific people, like we'll draw you into a story. Okay, so this is fun. This looks fun. The video looks good. Let's take a quick glance at the rewards. We've got Zombie Date Night Digital for only $3. Yeah, that's great.
I see that. If you're on $5, I'll think about it. But if it's $3, it's $3. Like, come on, I gotta get it.
I gotta get it. And 15 people have already gotten it. Then we got this is insane. Zombie Date Night Physical for $5.
That's why they're not funded yet. They're cheap. I'm not dissing them. I mean, that's good if you can do that.
Yeah,
man.
Considering that, and anybody that's printed books, you can sort of correct me on my averages. So like I said, I'm always willing to admit when I'm wrong. But on average, for me, a standard book that's not got any fancy stuff, when I print, a couple hundred of them, they tend to end up around $3, right? So that means you're only making $2 from this, plus, dealing with boarding and bagging and shipping and all that stuff. So people that support on Kickstarter, they understand that they're paying a little extra so that you can print more books, that you're trying to raise funds. It's not just ordering a book and buying a book like on my site, So, that's, I feel like you could probably, $10 is still a great deal for, and then we've got, digital of both 1 and 2 for $6. That would be probably the first one I'd get.
6. It's one more than 5.
Yeah, I mean, Zombie Date Night 2 signed for $10. So another $5 to have it signed. And then, but check this out. Both copies of 1 and 2 for $10. I mean, again, I jump all over that. And there are people backing it, but that money is not getting up there.
Yeah. The prices are so low. Like,
yeah, it is low.
Like if this were a first campaign, I wouldn't trust it because the prices are so low. But it's a second sequel, so they made the first one's out. The record is good, so that's cheap.
And they're well on their way. I mean, this one's $45 for both the books and a T-shirt. $60 for Date Night 2, $100. Eat your heart out. You get a physical copy of 1 and 2 signed, a poster, a T-shirt, every Valentine's card we just looked at, and a hand-drawn Valentine from the writer Steve Urino. So I think that's a great tier, but honestly, you could probably like close to double that price because you're getting a shirt, a poster, 2 books signed, Valentine's cards, and a custom drawing from somebody. That's a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
But and there's already like 7 people backing that because they see like, oh, that's a great deal. I'm going to jump on that. So you're doing great. The art looks great. The campaign looks great. I think you could raise your prices a bit.
Now, question: do the physicals come with the digital?
Good question. Let me see. This one does not. The $5 one does not. This one signed does come with a digital.
Okay.
Physical copies do not.
Now, if they're breaking up physical, that makes the pricing makes a little more sense then.
Yeah. So I mean, it doesn't come with the digital copy. And maybe you could add it on.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's only $6 for both.
Yeah, and then lastly, let me look real quick and see if we get the size. Maybe I already said it. I didn't catch it. Here it is. 24 pages.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good deal. I'll probably get this. I mean, it's $6 for 2 comics.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, man. It's a good deal. So yeah, you're doing a great job, Steve. This looks fun. I feel like, let me do some quick math here. 24. So right now you're averaging about $23 per backer. You got almost $2,500, 100 backers ish. So that's $23. And so if you took that same amount of backers and you were able to up that to like $30 a person on average, you'd already be almost a goal. So yeah, I would say, some of these prices could go up, a little bit.
If they have a big social following or they're good, if they're good at social media, then
they might
they're trying to reach more backers. Like they're trying to go wider rather than taller.
Yeah. I agree with you. I mean, right now they're already at 100 backers, which is definitely a nice number of backers. And they still have 24 days to go, so they might even double that. Yeah. Let's see what the comments say. Insymmetry says, definitely interested to know how long this campaign's been running for. The video said this Valentine's Day. That was 5 weeks ago. That is interesting.
Oh, yeah. Look, those always interest me. The campaigns that are like, because most campaigns are a month or less. So when I see a campaign that's like 60 days, I'm like, all right, what are we doing? What's going on?
Yeah. The pricing's far too low for Kickstarter backers to expect to be paying. Yeah, most of us are kind of used to $10 to $20 range for a physical copy, and that's why they're not funded. Yeah. So yeah, I think find that happy medium, like somewhere between what you're pricing at now and what other people are pricing. $10 for a physical, $12. Those are all still good prices for a physical copy. But yeah, it looks great. You're doing great. So keep up the good work. If you see this, maybe take some of those tips.
Yeah.
All right. So that brings us to our third one. Our third and final one is The Devil's Contract. Flip over to here. Do a quick zoom in on this one. The Devil's Contract, Book 5, Unhappy Holidays, an action-packed horror comic for mature readers who love the supernatural. All right. I'm a little taken aback by this for a couple of reasons. Number one, when we looked at the first campaign, they only had $300, but it was clear that this was a first-time creator who was just doing this. And so you have an empathy for that and like, all right, I get it. This says it's book 5 and they have a goal of $300. And
but they passed it with 11 backers.
Well, that's the other thing. Like 5 books in, 11 backers. Like,
Yeah.
to me, if you've made 4 books ahead of time, you should probably already have, a couple dozen. So for me personally, like, what that does is it sends up the warning flags of like, hey, if this is the 5th book and there's only 11 backers, maybe people didn't like the previous books and that's why they're not coming back.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it deters me, but it certainly starts giving me some caution flags. I'm like, all right, I need to investigate this.
Yeah.
So it says this is an action-packed horror comic for mature readers who love the supernatural. I'm getting some, like, in the style of the artwork, some old school 80s G.I. Joe look going on.
Yeah, it took me back like the 80s, 70s type comics with like 20 people on the cover.
Yeah.
Looking.
Yeah. So this is created by Dan Barlow. There is no video. And it says The Devil's Contract issue 5. We got some inverted art right there. All right, I'll read this. It says The Devil's Contract is a supernatural limited series written and illustrated by independent comic veteran Dan Barlow. First launched on Kickstarter in 2022, the initial 5 issues comprise over 100 pages of story thus far. There is ample time to become acquainted with this title. Okay, so we got some. What is she holding? A hairdryer?
Might be like a laser gun. Well, it looks like a hairdryer.
There's a cord on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The throwing star makes me think it might be something else.
I don't know. Then we have our interior art here. Looks like it's black and white. This kicks off with the introduction of the holiday bounty hunter known as Easter, who wakes up to an assassination attempt from the Yakuza. And then we have some sample pages. Meanwhile, Halloween Man recruits an old friend to help with a coven of vampires. That old friend demands the Halloween Man to conjure his wife first. So, are these alternate stories that kind of interject?
Was like a anthology type thing with 2 different stories.
I'm not sure yet. Little vague on that. The 4th is tasked with bringing in the other holiday bounty hunters, but not everyone is happy to be together. I don't know who the 4th is, so I don't know.
The 4th, another guy. So we got the woman, Easter. We got Halloween Man. Now we got the 4th.
So I don't know if the 4th is a group or the 4th is a singular person.
I thought it was a person, but I don't know now.
DMW says somebody has the money to fund their own comic. This is just someone trying to get a little extra money. That's what I see. I may be wrong. Yeah. Maybe. I mean,
it could be that.
Let's see. Some more shots of the comic. We got some very kind of sketchy art style. And then another character, Pastor LeBlanc, returns to the charred remains of his old church. So right now I'm getting this vibe of like different story arcs going on.
It's like 4 different. It's 4 different stories. It seems like, and the comic is 24 pages. That's like 6 pages of story.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't even know if these characters' stories like interact or if they're just individual. So it says here, The Devil's Contract, Who the Hell Is This? Character Bible is a Kickstarter exclusive comic available that comes with book 5. So some descriptions of the characters. Honestly, I want more descriptions of what this is.
See, this would be a campaign that I would see and I'd be confused, so I would go to look at the other campaigns to get.
They're
that's what I end up doing. So like, what's the story about? What are we doing? What's going on? Because I'm kind of lost. Like, is it 4?
Yeah.
Is it an anthology or not? Because that makes 2 different comics.
Right. So we've mentioned this on the show time and time again. I think In Symmetry or DMW, one of the two, mentioned this earlier in the comments, and that is that you want to like create your campaign, at least a good portion of it, to a new audience, not your returning backers, people who have no clue what's going on, and you kind of present it to them as it's the first time, so that we're not lost. Because I'm a bit lost here.
I'm very lost.
And like the artwork is since I'm lost, the artwork's got to do all the work to get me intrigued. And to be honest, it's not bad, but it's not enough for me to go, man.
It's all right.
Yeah. But it's not enough for me to go, I really want to check this out, even though I'm confused, Yeah. So
I really think this is an anthology.
Yeah, I do. I feel like it is an anthology, but
I don't mind, but you gotta save. Don't trick me into reading it. I love anthologies, but I gotta know it going in.
Yeah, I didn't get any indication about these characters sort of stories intertwining or interacting or anything like that. So
like it seems like if they interact, it'll be like the end, like at some event, but not like in the middle.
Yeah. All right, over here on the rewards, we've got Devil's Contract number 5 poster character book. Be the first to get a copy of Devil's Contract number 5, exclusive 16-page character book, and that's it for $15. Both covers, original art, character book. If you can't decide between the standard and the reverse, grab both. And the character book for $20, and that's it. That's the only two. Like, there's not a digital copy. There's literally two rewards, and one of them is just the character book. It's not issue 5 at all. The other one is both covers and the character book.
Yeah, that's
weird.
Yeah, this is a campaign that would confuse me because there's no. I normally buy digital first because I don't know the creator. I'm trying to see it, so I don't want to buy physical unless I want it. So there's no digitals. There's not. There's even an option to get the old stuff. Is there?
Mm-mm.
So, like, if you're gonna do that, you gotta at least have a store, like online digital, some store. If you're gonna do that, like,
I want to see. It says optional add-ons. Is there a way to see the add-ons, or do you just have to click on?
I think you gotta
continue.
You probably have to pledge.
Let's see. Add-ons. We've got get an original sketch or be in the next issue. There is no option to get a previous book.
Yeah,
that is insane.
Yeah,
and what's crazy is it says right at the top, first launched on Kickstarter in 2022, the initial 5 issues comprises over 100 pages of story. There is ample time to become acquainted with this title, but there's no way to like get the book.
Yeah,
I've never seen this before.
They have to have a store. Like they have to. They don't have a store down.
I don't know.
I don't know what they're doing.
That's crazy. Kristen Maddox is with us. Hey, Kristen. Nice to have you here. Fred Schwartz, from our winner from last week, is here. Welcome. So man, this is out of this world. I have never seen a campaign, especially one. If this is their 5th campaign, you'd think they'd know. Yeah,
this is like a first campaign mistake or something.
Yeah, you'd think they would know better, but that's strange, man. So there we have it. That's our 3 for today. If you're watching this and you're a creator, obviously we're pointing out some things that are not, ideal for this particular campaign. You definitely want to have digital because people, like Ben said, they're apprehensive. They want to try it out, especially if they're new creators or a new book they haven't seen before. They want to check it out first. And a lot of us have backed hundreds of people, and so you can't afford to spend $20 a pop on everything. So digital is super important these days. Plus, it gets your backers. You get more people to see your book, and you got to give some information about what we're getting in this book. Like I scrolled through this thing and didn't realize until close to the end that there's no other previous books that I can get. So this would be a turnoff for me. I would be like, I am not jumping into this book without knowing what's going on, and there's no way to get the previous book. So it's very strange approach to Kickstarter. So if you've never done, Kickstarter, learn from this. Give lots of different reward options, physical and digital. Like, there's not even an option to get one book. It's the one way to get this book is to get both covers. And that's it. That's just strange.
It's almost like it's an exclusive type thing. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. If you want to see a good Kickstarter campaign, go check out our winner from last week, Fisticuffs. Fred Schwartz put together a great campaign, and that's why we chose it. So you're welcome, Fred. And now that brings us to the end of the show where we decide which one we are going to back and support. As a recap, we've got Dead Gene Volume 1, which is a very new one, time traveling dystopian future. And then we got Zombie Date Night, which was really professionally put together, great looking art, a good tone in the video. Just everything was super underpriced, so we could get a whole bunch of stuff. First issue, second issue, for a low rate. So post your thoughts in the comments, which one you would back if you were looking at these three, as we choose which one we're going to go with. I'm pretty sure I know which one I want to go with.
Yeah.
All right. Are you ready, Benjamin?
I am.
All right. Lori says, hard choice. How about Zombie Nate Night? And Symmetry says, as the late brother which is a business lesson, never be in the sales prevention department. Don't prevent your potential backers from supporting you. I agree. Yeah. Mr. Tony Nacho says Zombie Nate Night. Chris Steiner says Zombie Nate Night. Let's see which one that we are going to go with today. You ready? One.
So,
yep, you got it.
Yep, I think maybe a flip, but yeah.
There we go. Yeah, congratulations to Steve Urena. You put together a really nice campaign. It intrigued us, and you had like prices I just can't pass up.
Yeah, a very low bar for entry.
Yes. Yeah. Oh man. So and Symmetry says, I say Fisticuffs and Bad Wabbits. Both of those books are stellar books. Go check them out on Kickstarter. They both have great looking campaigns, fun looking books, both of them. Also go check out Zombie Date Night. So Benjamin, before we go, let people know again a little bit about what you do and where they can find your stuff. I think there's a lot of creators on here right now that may be interested to check you out.
Yep. I have the website called The Point of Clicking, where I review indie comics, mostly crowdfunded comics. And I wanted crowdfunded comics to get more shine because no one really talks about them. They're not mainstream. So I want to let people look at them, and so I find it very helpful when those comics I review have stores you can buy them off of. I've reviewed many comics; they get a lot of looks. They look at reviews a whole lot, but there's nowhere to get them, and that kind of kills me because like if you had a digital store, this would get bought up.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just trying to help out indie comics, and I love reading indie comics. I love these comics. I don't read the big two. I don't really read like Dark Horse, Dynamite. I used to, but now I'm just all crowdfund mostly.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you can find everything, all walks of life. You can find a lot of different art styles. I know I pick up mainstream books at the comic shop mostly because of the particular artist that I like, and I want to study their hatching style or something like that. Like Jason Fabok is an amazing artist that I love checking his work out. But in the indie community, there's just so much plethora of storytelling. And I mean, it's the same with the movies on Netflix. I mean, a lot of or not just Netflix, but all those streaming services, like some of the best stories are these like one-shot stories. And a lot of them are from comics, you know?
Yeah. But people don't know about them. That's the whole problem. Like, I only know about crowdfunding because I used to be on Comixology. Then they changed up. And I went to I started buying Kickstarter comics in February 2021. And that's when I saw an ad on Instagram. I was like, oh, I want to buy this. But it's crowdfunding. I was like, oh, let me get into that. And now we're here.
Yeah. JD, welcome. JD Bizarro says, I want to make sure you heard correctly. It's the point of clicking. Yeah, I put the thing on the screen there. It's thepointofclicking.com. And he's got just 100. What'd you say? Over 500 you've reviewed?
Yeah, and that's not even counting the anthologies. I don't really. You can't really review an anthology.
Yeah,
because it's like a bunch of stories. So I give an overview. Yeah.
He's reviewed all of the Mythica books so far, and you just got issue 9 in your hand.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing the review for that on Friday, and I can't wait.
Yeah, next Friday. I just finished review yesterday. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Any little hints about what you thought of it?
That was good.
We gotta wait. It's good.
Very violent.
It was very violent. I can't wait to see your violence meter on that one.
Oh yeah.
He's got this cool setup where he does like a violence meter and a like sex meter and like has ranking for how much is in there. And I feel like this one's gonna just like be at the top of the chart on that.
Yeah, I did that because I would read comics that look innocent, and then some big old sexy, and I was like, oh shoot, and then comics that look violent, but then they're not. So like, that's why I put the rating in, as people know what they're getting.
Yeah, I love it. Anthony Castro, who is our bad rabbit, he says how to contact you to send you some books.
I have a contact page on the site, and like sometime next week I'll open it up for reviews. So you can send me a comic, I'll review it. The only thing is you have to send a comic in order. So don't like some people like to send me like number 5 of a comic, and I haven't read 1 through 4. So like, I can't review that. I'm lost.
Yeah.
I can't be lost reading your comic. Yeah. So you should open up next week, and you can send them.
I know he's got at least the first 2 issues. He'll probably send you.
Yeah.
So thanks so much for being on the show with me, Ben. It's been great having you.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah.
This is the first thing I've been on ever.
Not well. I'm sure there's a host of people who would love to have you on. It was really a pleasure having you on today. If you like this show, be sure and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 1 million subscribers, and we're well on our way. And then we also you can get my books at my store at actionlinestudios.com. I've got currently the first 8. As soon as I get the last Kickstarters out, I'll be putting it up, issue 9 up on the store. And there's also some other things, and all that goes towards supporting this show, paying for StreamYard, which is now like nearly $50 a month. But just helping us continue to support the indie community and like going round and round. So love that support there. Mm-hmm. All right. So Jen Westoff says rock on. And that's it for today. So thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next Friday on the Comic Book Showdown of Ultimate Destiny. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you later.